We had 2 middle schools, or junior highs then, that were white schools, and then 1 black one. So what they were gonna do is they were gonna build another high school right beside the middle school and split the town and split the black kids between the 2 schools and integrate them. Well, Burlington Williams was the old established high school. And they brought these kids from Jordan Sellers, which is the black high school, started bringing them in. They had all kinds of trouble. Close the door. They had all kinds of trouble.
Thank you.
Not quite, but just crack it so you'll hear it. They had all kinds of trouble because you had traditions at both schools. You had traditions at the black high school, traditions at the white high school. You had to merge those. Like picking cheerleaders was a big deal. How do you pick the cheerleaders? Are they all black? Are they all white? Well, who gets left out? Because you already had cheerleaders at both schools. Who's going to be the football coach? Because you had a winning tradition at both schools. Now, you come to my high school, we were brand new. We made all the traditions. Those kids came in from the other school. We had our kids. We had the black principal from the old school. We had a white football coach. And so that's kind of how they did it. But I was on, we had a thing called the interim committee. And it was kids from both schools. And it was our job to set up, kind of like you're doing here, set up the school. How are we going to do student government? How are we going to do cheerleaders? How are we going to do this? And we devised it ourselves. And what's interesting, now I just had my 40th high school reunion a couple of years ago. Yes, I'm old. And we had a good mix of everybody came. You go to some of these schools, the black kids don't come to the reunion, but the white folks, they have a separate reunion. Okay, and I just felt like I was in a very unique situation, a very unique school, a very unique time. And I think that, no pun intended, colored how I view the world now and how I view race. And then what you also understand is I started out as a teacher at Sanderson in 1976. And most of the kids I taught all day were black kids. And so I think the uniqueness of my background, even though I was raised in a racist society, even though there are no black people in my neighborhood, but I think I've got a better view than some people. I'm not going to tell you it's not influenced by my background, but I try to recognize those things and not let it affect me. Now as an educator, as whatever I do.
Alrighty, and since you had, like you said, you had to work with black students most of your
Right.
earlier career.
Yeah.
Weren't there any discrimination towards you from your students of any type?
Due to like the past or stuff, or how they might feel about how the past was?
You know, I don't know. I can't answer because I don't know what they thought sometimes. I don't think it was, there will be the occasional thing where, are you just doing that because you're white, or you feel that way because I'm black. You get that sometimes as an educator. And I also worked as assistant principal too, that was my last job. So, I got that sometimes.
Not just like negative things though, like also like anything like good, like good comments from them. Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't think any of them were racial. Okay? It's not too many years ago, about 2 years ago, my wife and I were having breakfast, and I saw somebody in a restaurant. It was a young man with a young female, a black couple, and he kind of kept looking at me, and I'm figuring, okay, that must have been one of my students, because that happens a lot. And so when we were getting ready to leave, he came up and talked to me, and I said, you'll have to tell me your name, and because I remembered his face, I couldn't remember his name. He told me, and he said, you saved my life. I still don't know what I did for him, but I know I had him for discipline and did things with him. I don't know, but that wasn't about race. I don't think. You see what I'm saying? I don't know that anybody's ever said anything to me. I had to laugh though. I coached wrestling for a number of years, and I had this 2 kids on my team, and one was white, and one was black, and I kept switching their names. And I told them, I said, "You got to understand, I'm truly colorblind." So it was, but I think any human, it's going to play to your life, and I think the goal is to know that, whether you're white, black, purple, and then if you recognize it, try to do something about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Did you like so did you sense any racial, like, between